How many of you know about the opioid crisis? I'm sure a lot of you. Today I'm going to be telling you firsthand about the problem of the opioid drugs, the causes of the crisis, and lastly give you some solutions. I've done a lot of research and written a few papers on this issue, so it's safe to say that I'm credible. Today I will persuade my audience to learn about the problem of prescription drugs by first explaining the problem at hand, second its causes, and offer a solution. First, let's address the problem of using prescription narcotics and the effects that come with it. Prescription drug use is an ongoing problem here in the United States. We have more and more people misusing and abusing these drugs each year. According to the 2016 National Study on Drug Use and Health reported by Patty Richard, an estimated 28.6 million Americans aged 12 and over used illicit drugs during the month prior to the study. In fact, 33% of those who misused in high school ended up with an addiction at some point in their life. This information shows that when a person takes a prescription drug for a non-medical reason, it can turn into an addiction very fast. When addressing the effects of using prescription drugs, overdose is number one on the list. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, published on September 25th, 2019, more than 183,000 people have died in the United States from overdose related to prescription opioids from 1999 to 2015. As you can see from these statistics, this problem of abusing prescription narcotics is a current and growing issue we must stop. Now that we have talked about the problem of using prescription drugs, let's look at its causes. One of the main causes to why people start using these narcotics is because they are being prescribed way more than they need to be by doctors. It has been shown that many surgeons overprescribed after surgery, even for an operation that would cause most patients relatively little pain. As claimed by Julie Albee and Elizabeth Lucas from Kaiser Health News on June 21st, 2019, almost 350,000 prescriptions were written for patients operated on by nearly 20,000 surgeons from 2011 to 2016. If this information tells us anything at all, it is that doctors are overprescribing for even the slightest things. If these pills weren't given out so easily, we wouldn't have as many people dependent on these dangerous medications. Another cause to why people use prescription medication is wanting to escape reality. When someone is going through a rough point in their life or suffering from depression, they may want to escape from their daily problems. They may be more at risk to use prescription opioids. When the individual is using these drugs, they put themselves at risk for long-term addiction and overdose. Now that we know the causes of this problem, let's look towards a solution. Lastly, I will tell you about some solutions to this problem. One solution that could be used is to have doctors stop overprescribing. The biggest reason people use these drugs is because they are being prescribed in large amounts. If doctors prescribed heavy narcotics in smaller dosages to the patients, the risk of developing an addiction might be more slim. As shown on CNN YouTube channel, published on May 11, 2016, Dr. Wen talks about the problem with doctors overprescribing and how the CDC has implemented new guidelines for doctors to follow to avoid overprescribing. The way we can get this solution to work is to get all doctors and patients on board with these new guidelines. With these new guidelines in order, they will be teaching these new things in medical school to ensure future doctors don't overprescribe. If we can get more doctors to prescribe non-narcotic medication for less serious things, we will be one step closer to ending this problem. When it comes to having the people understand these new guidelines, we must show them there are other medications that can help that are non-narcotic and non-addictive. Just because you are in pain does not mean you need pain meds. There are other options that won't put you at risk for overdose or addiction. In conclusion, today we talked about the problem with prescription drugs in 3 steps, explaining the problem at hand, its causes, and some solutions. I hope you leave here today with a better understanding of how dangerous prescription drugs can be And remember, there are safer, better alternatives.